Chardon. Hey, true crime fans. Welcome back to another episode of Chardon. Hey, true crime. I'm your host, Dakota. With me, as always, is the lovely Kate.
That's me.
That is her. And tonight, we are going to be talking about
Heaven's Gate Part 5. Whew.
5. Yep, that is right. Heaven's Gate Part 5.
Yeah, this is the one that... The Heaven's Gate truly is the gift that keeps on giving. I feel like this one keeps extending.
It really, I mean, that's a weird way of putting it, but you know what? I'm not going to disagree with you. I mean, that's an interesting, that's a hot take right there. That is a hot take.
Lukewarm. I'll say it's lukewarm, but
All right.
Yeah. Tell me I'm wrong.
It's an interesting take. Kate, explain your thoughts on why it is the gift that keeps on giving.
Because I just feel like as we keep going into this, we just keep we keep making more connections, and we keep just kind of having these moments of goodness. We just keep having these extensive moments where we're really digging into the huge what it's just one huge what the fuck after another, and we just keep trying to kind of figure out where they're coming from. So I feel like this particular series has extended 2 episodes since we started it.
I will agree with that statement as I pour my wine. Because I fucking need it.
I was doing a lot of gallivanting about today, and I'm very dehydrated, so I'm being responsible. I'm drinking pointy water right now.
Okay, you drink your pointy water. If you feel like having a sip or two of wine, feel free.
Yeah, I do have some here, but I know my body needs the pointy water right now.
I understand. All right, so what are we talking about tonight, Kate?
Okay, so today we're kind of discussing basically the whole ending of everything, because we're discussing the events leading up to the suicide, suicide itself, and the whole after effect of everything.
Yeah, and it is going to be a lot to cover, so why don't we hop on into it? All
right, so that was really stupid.
Me or you?
Me. I literally hopped in my seat and went, okay.
You dork.
Okay, but anyway, so when we left off, so we were discussing the Bop It comet, Haley Bop, and
Haley Bop?
Huh?
Haley Bop?
Yeah, I said what I said. Did I fucking stutter?
Okay, I'm just making sure you know what you said. I wasn't sure if that was a slip of the tongue.
Yeah, no. I said bop it on purpose, and then I said Haley Bop It on purpose. Okay,
listen, I knew that you said bop it on purpose, but Haley Bop It just threw me, okay?
So it's the Hale Bop comet. So
Thank you.
Just so you guys know what it's actually called. It's the Hale Bop.
She's not mixing up Halley's Comet and the Hale Bop Comet. She isn't doing that.
No. I'm just being hilarious. So you're welcome.
Okay.
But so we were discussing that and what the surviving leader of Heaven's Gate saw as an opportunity to take it all to the next level.
Which is something that they constantly say. We're moving on to the next level.
Yeah, it's like they live in a video game.
The next level. Yeah, and that's right. That is what we were discussing. Yeah.
And then we had our whole recap of Ruby Ridge and Waco and how it all tied into all of this.
Yeah, and not to mention how one action by the FBI and ATF led to some of the worst incidents of death and domestic terrorism in the United States when it comes to Ruby Ridge and Waco, and how that's all connected to Oklahoma City. And I still feel like Charlie Day in that one picture of him with all the strings and the papers and everything. I'm just saying it is all connected.
But we're not here to talk about that.
No, we are not. I know. What we are here to talk about is how Herf starts talking to the group about the idea of killing themselves to ascend to the next level. Now, this is something that he and the group have never considered before. It's something that they straight up said in the beginning is not a thing. They were like, no, we're just going to like transform our bodies by dieting and taking vitamins and praying, and we'll turn into actual aliens and hop onto a UFO and get the fuck out of Dodge.
If only.
No kidding. But as time has gone longer and longer without things Herf saying were going to happening,
Like coming back from the dead.
Yes, like that.
Yeah, and they kind of lost the plot, didn't they?
That is a very good way of putting it. They absolutely lost the plot.
Among other things.
Yeah.
Their balls. I'm talking about their balls.
I know.
Because they cut off their balls.
Yes, I am aware. It makes me... God damn it. All right. Anyways.
They neutered themselves.
Yes, they neutered themselves. Always remember to spay and neuter your cult members.
Oh, man. Oh.
Yeah. They sure did. But like I said, in the last episode, they started to advertise themselves on the internet. They got some new followers. Now, I do want to point out, I didn't put this in the notes, but this is a good thing for me to point out because I forgot to put it in the notes. They would advertise on like Star Trek message boards. I'm not joking. They literally advertised on like Star Trek message boards, and they were like, are you into space? Are you a fucking nerd? Do we have the religion for you?
Just Scientology? Fuck that shit. L. Ron Hubbard, he just wants your money. You know what we want to do? We want to actually send you to space.
Fuck you, Jeff Bezos.
Oh, God. We get it. You have a small penis.
Yep. No, but Heaven's Gate, they're basically just like, whew. Yeah. Like that thing in Book of Mormon, yeah. Hello, would you like to change religions? We have a free book written by space aliens.
I have a free book written by Sulu.
I have a free book written by Spock. Oh my God. That book.
Take Care of Your Child by Dr. Spock.
Imagine if they got those like lines crossed and they thought that Dr. Spock was like Mr. Spock.
Oh, man. That's really funny. I stole that joke from Daddy Daycare.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God.
Oh, that's a movie I didn't realize I remembered.
Till this moment.
Yep.
All I remember of that movie is the scene where Eddie Murphy and the other adult in that movie like walk into the bathroom and apparently there's like pee everywhere. That's all I remember.
Yeah. You don't see it, but you see it in Eddie Murphy's very animated face.
For those of you that are listening and not watching, we're just making the most comically horrified faces that we can. So that's what you're missing by not watching the stream as it goes live. But anyways, so yeah, they're advertising on fucking Star Trek message boards being like, hey, do you like Star Trek? Well, guess what, you fucking nerd? We'll send you to actual space. That is exactly what they wrote in their posts on the forums.
Me, a nerd with tears in my eyes. We know, but hey.
Exactly. But you know, they advertised on the internet. They got a handful of new followers, and some of the new followers, some of them actually agreed with the decision to kill themselves. One did not. He was disinvited from the group at that point, and when he left, they actually stopped accepting new members.
Do you think it's because he knew that like other people would want to question him?
I mean, probably.
Because, I mean, like, the people who haven't been with the group for too long, like, they'd be the ones who would be more likely to question what was going on. So, like, if they were to start accepting new members, or continue accepting new members, they would be more likely to ask somebody who was uninvited from the group about, like, hey, so, like, what's the deal here? Like, what was going on there? And then, you know, he might be like, yo, they're like fucking crazy. They just like want to kill themselves to go to space.
And they'd just be like, cool.
You never know, though. There could have been some people who would have been like, dude, same?
I mean, it's kind of a fucking mood, but, you know.
Exactly.
That's enough about our social life. Anyways, but you make a good point. If anyone was going to question the way that things were done, it would be one of the people who were newer to the group rather than the people who had spent the last 20 years with this group.
God, it really has been 20 years now, hasn't it? Like at this point in the story.
At this point in the story, yeah, it's been like at least 20, maybe like 21 years. That's maybe around like 1996, but I'm thinking this is like about 1995, 1996, around there.
A very important year.
Yeah, and they got together in 1975. So, yeah, it's been at least 20 years now, yeah.
God, like imagine those long-term, like just spending your entire, like that much time of your life with one group.
Okay, at this point, between 1975 and 1995, this is the point where my mother has been born and is now 20 years old. Because my mom was born in 1975.
Damn.
Yeah. I know, right? I was already born.
This whole, like, the time that this group was together was enough time for your mom to be born and then have you.
Exactly. Isn't that fucking wild?
That's real wild in terms of, like, just putting the timeline in perspective. Damn.
Yeah. I know, right? Because my mom was 16 when she had me. Almost 17. She turned 17 like 2 weeks later, but you know, she was 16. So yeah, that is enough time for my mom to have been born and then to have a child. That is how long this cult has been together.
That's so crazy.
Right? Isn't that wild? I just thought of that. That's fucking wild to me.
Let's not talk about the passage of time anymore.
Kind of freaking me out too. Anyways, so yeah, it's been a little longer than 20 years now for this group. Okay, now you're gonna make me yawn, you dumb bitch.
Sorry. I'm running on 3 hours of sleep. Sorry.
That's your own damn fault.
I am aware.
Okay, as long as you're aware. Anyways, so 1996, they move into the mansion in Rancho Santa Fe, and for a while, things are pretty normal. They still have their check partners, which for those of you who don't remember, when you joined the group, you were assigned a check partner and you two would do everything together, including sharing bunk beds.
Yeah, it's basically like your accountability partner.
Exactly. Basically, they were there to make sure that you didn't do things in a way that made other people feel bad. I'm not even joking. I've been reading Heaven's Gate by Ben Zeller, Benjamin E. Zeller. It is a fantastic book if you are interested in books that are a little on the technical side, because this book is, it's like that line in Beetlejuice, this thing reads like stereo instructions or whatever they say about, the book.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it can be fairly technical in some aspects, and it is very much written by a professor.
Oh, well, that would explain it.
Yeah, it's written like a dissertation in some points, and it's a little difficult to get through, but I found it interesting.
It's very informative, not very like.
It's not one of those books
not moving.
No, it's not one of those books that's going to be like, and then the drama, and it's like, whoo. No, it's not like that. It's like, this is what they believed in, and this is where what they believed in came from, and this is how they changed what they believed in, and this is how it affected the group. And it's just sort of like, oh my God, get to the suicides already. You're just making me want to kill myself.
It's just very cut and dry.
It is. It really is. But it's very well written.
Okay.
There's a really interesting part of it where I was reading where they were talking about like one of the new members who joined when they were living in Rancho Santa Fe. Like they and their Czech partner were doing laundry. And that was like their job in the house, was to do the laundry. And one of them had worked at a fast food restaurant before joining the group. It was like the new person had worked at a fast food restaurant. And so they were like really fast with folding things. And that made their Czech partner feel bad. So they had to have a whole sit down with Marshall Applewhite to be like, this person folds things too fast and it makes me feel bad. And they had to like learn how to not fold things as fast so they could work as a team. I'm not even joking. That is the kind of monotonous bullshit that this group was bitching about. Go ahead and say your real thoughts. This is our show.
Bitch, what the fuck?
There you go. There it is.
Yeah. If your teammate is better at part of the job than you, then you do a different part of the job and you balance it out. You don't have them step down because you're not as good. Like that is legitimately one of the stupidest fucking things I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's what life was like in this cult, though.
That is so stupid.
It was very much the monotonous, they make me feel bad because they're better at something than I am. And Herf being like, okay, well, stop being better than them. And the other person being like, shit, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm better at shit than you. Let me be worse than this than you. Worse at this than you. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Just, oh God, I'm so sorry that I excel at something because of other skills that I had previously learned. Let me just fucking forget that.
Basically, they were making this person feel bad for being good at something. And, a lot of times when you talk about this group, and even I've done this, I have even done this, where I'm like, this group was like a family. They were like a family. But not in like the lovey-dovey Brady Bunch type of way, They had actual like real life issues with each other and shit. And that's what happens when you get 39 people. Actually, it's more than 39 at this point. That's when you get like 45 people living in a house together, doing all the same shit all day, every day. People need conflict in their lives. They do. I hate saying it, but there is no such thing as a conflict-free zone. You can ask anybody in the fucking world what kind of conflict they're going through, and if they say, oh, I have no conflict in my life, they're a fucking liar.
If they say they have no conflict in their life, it's because they are the source of conflict and are oblivious to it.
Exactly.
It's like, everybody has the gay cousin, and if you don't have a gay cousin, you are the gay cousin.
Or it's like those women that are like, I don't want to start drama, but Mary Catherine uses way too much salt in her casserole. There, I said it. Yeah. And I don't want to start drama, but Mary Sue Ellen needs to watch her kids better. Because I heard that Jeremy hit a curb with his car when he was pulling out of a parking lot.
You know,
What?
I don't think Billy would stand for that bullshit.
I don't think he would either. Billy is ready to fucking arrest Deborah.
Billy is like within me right now,
Yeah.
ready to fucking rage.
As soon as I said Mary Sue Ellen, Kate's face. Oh my God.
Watch your fucking mouth about my wife.
Oh my God. Kate is ready to rage.
Billy is ready to slap a bitch. He does not hit women, but he will slap that bitch.
Yeah, well, Deborah's a bitch. We all knew that.
No. Deb is Bob's wife.
This isn't Deb. This is Deborah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is Deborah from down the block.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Fucking Deborah.
Yeah.
Fucking
Exactly.
Deborah.
And she's just jealous because she wants to be the only Deborah in the neighborhood.
Yeah, but Deb had already like established seniority, and she just, she just happens to make a better pie.
Ooh, Deborah's gonna go off.
Yeah, well, maybe she should go off in her kitchen and practice for a little bit and work on her crust.
Fucking shots of fired in imaginary suburbia over here. Oh my God.
Work on yourself and your short crust, Deborah, okay?
Shots fucking fired. Anyways, so
yeah, that's the comparison that we were making.
That's pretty much it, though. Like, these are the people. There's always going to be those people, And some of the members of Heaven's Gate were those people. I mean, fuck, can you imagine living with other people for like 20 goddamn years like that?
Especially that many people, like
God,
that
seriously.
And like, if you always have the same job, like if you are assigned the same job for that amount of time, and it's like housework and chores and stuff like that, and there's no rotation, you're gonna want to bite somebody's head off. Like,
I mean, listen, from my own perspective, every shift that I work at my job, I usually do the exact same job every single time. I have gotten very good at my job. However, when I see other people who aren't doing as well as I do, and I have to stop and correct their work, yeah, it's fucking frustrating.
Yeah, I can't say I really have that experience at work because I'm definitely the worst manager on my team, but
yeah. But, I know that I'm good at what I do. I can be a little bit slower than other people at what I do. Sorry, there's a bug on my mic screen. I'm like, fuck off. But like, I know that I'm not the best at what I do, but I know that I listen to what the managers tell me and they say, do it this way. And I go, okay. So then I do it that way. And then when I see someone not doing it that way, I'm like,
why they not do that?
Do your fucking job.
Yeah, but like if you're in that like type of situation where you're doing this, like humans humans are like tigers. Every once in a while, they need a pumpkin stuffed with meat thrown into their enclosure for enrichment. Like, you can't just be doing the same stuff, pacing back and forth all the time. That's how you get miserable and depressed and resentful. Like, it's just, it's not effective, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
You good?
Yeah, sorry. I just got a text message about the funeral I'm going to.
Oh.
Just the confirmation and everything. Yeah, no, it isn't effective. But anyways, so they have their check partners, they still attend classes with HERF, they pray, they have their jobs, they do things together. It's typical life for the members of the cult. Occasionally there's going to be a little bit of drama between Deb and Deborah, but what the fuck are you going to do about it? Although I guess at this point it would be Deborah Odie and Deb Odie. Because they add Odie at the ends of their names.
You've got Deb Odie and Debrody because she's Deborah.
Yeah. Debrody and Deb Odie.
Yeah. Oh.
You okay?
I just had like a weird I took a sip of water a minute ago and then I just felt like a bloop. It was very uncomfortable. Very weird.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm not gonna cry. Sorry.
You okay?
Yep, I'm all right. Anyways, so it's a typical life for the members of the cult.
Yes, that's where we're going with that. It's very typical, very monotonous, and it's all the same shit, different day. So when do things start changing?
So things start to change, and I mean really change, by January of 1997. By that time, they're living in Rancho Santa Fe. They have their computer business, which, by the way, is named Higher Source. Because I guess, Next Level Computer Company was already taken.
Yeah.
And they start to go on group outings. Yeah.
To where?
Vegas, for one.
I can't even imagine that group in Vegas.
Oh, I mean, we get like some of those FLDS people out here, so cults come through.
Yeah, I guess everyone goes through Vegas eventually.
You're not wrong. I do know that like they were like very nervous about like gambling and stuff like that. They were very much just like all surrounding one machine and being like, ooh. And then the one person would like push the button, they'd be like, oh.
Shiny lights,
Pretty
dinging bells. Wow.
Is this what it's going to be like on this spaceship? Yeah. They went to the San Diego Zoo. They spent time on the beach. They went out for dinners together, all of them ordering the exact same thing when they went out to dinners together.
Well, I mean, at least that makes it easier for the server.
Listen, as someone who works in a restaurant, I can tell you right now, even if they did all order the exact same thing, there was like 39 of them. I don't care how fucking nice you are. I don't care how easy you try to make it on the servers. They hate you. The servers all hate you.
Yeah.
If you bring a group of more than 10 into a restaurant, the servers automatically hate you. I am speaking from experience.
Yeah. As somebody who has not ever worked in a restaurant, if I see a group of more than 10, I hate you as a patron.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. We had a group of 20 in the other night.
I'm trying to think of how many of us went out to dinner the other day.
We hated them.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, there was more than 10 of us. Yeah, they hated us.
They hated you.
Yeah.
Was there a group of servers by the kitchen? And when someone took a bite, they all started giggling?
They were!
Yeah, that's pants food.
Oh, it's a good thing we weren't sharing.
It's probably best you didn't share. But seriously, they did actually have this thing that honestly I thought was kind of cute when I was reading about it. They had a log next to the door where anytime anyone left the house, they would log out who was leaving, where they were going, their expected time back, and whatever money they had. And when they came back from Vegas, they logged any money that they lost. And they also found some money, which they also logged, which I don't know. I thought that was kind of cute.
Consistency.
Yeah, and they would like write little messages and stuff, and that log actually is like pretty important when it comes to the death of everyone, but we'll get there. Anyways, so on March 23rd, the Hale-Bopp comet was the closest that it was going to be to Earth. On March 23rd, 15 of the group committed suicide, taking phenobarbital with applesauce and a shot of vodka. And they also would put, and I know you're going to hate this in particular, Kate, they put a plastic bag over their heads to help. I'm sorry. I have to give the facts as it happened.
I know. At least this is something that we've covered this before, so like I remembered that, so I'm just like, yep,
So before the suicides, this is actually interesting. They had tracksuits made for themselves.
Oh, yeah.
They all wore black tracksuits. They all wore the same Nikes. Yeah. They all wore the same Nikes, which are now extremely hard to get. Those Nikes were discontinued, and they were discontinued fast. Yeah.
We don't exist anymore. Goodbye.
Yeah, right. Nike's just like, bye. Slams door.
We've never heard of them.
We don't know her.
She doesn't even go here.
Misty, do you even go here?
I just have a lot of feelings.
Okay, you need to leave. Honestly, one of the best parts in Mean Girls.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't even go here. I also love that Damien thought that he was like incognito.
Right.
Anyway,
who do you think you were fooling?
Everybody, because no one kicked him out.
Oh my God, Danny DeVito, I love your work.
Anyways, they also had patches made for their shoulders that read Heaven's Gate Away Team, because they were, going away. They were a team that was, it's like Star Trek, Captain Kirk, McCoy, Spock, Scotty, Chekhov, Sulu, sometimes Uhura. They're all part of the away team.
Once in a while, Picard.
Yeah, once in a while, Picard. But I'm talking like TOS,
I know. That's why I threw Picard in there, just to be a shit.
Just to get the nerds talking and being like, listen, she's obviously talking about the original series and you're talking about Next Generation. That is an actual conversation that I've had.
Yeah, that one time that like Kirk went out with Data, it was just like so wild, man.
I hate you so much. Oh, God. All right. So here's a picture of what the patches looked like. No, I have literally had this fucking conversation at Comic-Con before because this goddamn red shirt fucking came up to me and was being a piece of shit. And I was just like, that's a lot of bold talk coming from a red shirt. And he was just like, if you would actually paid attention to the shirt that I'm wearing, you would notice that it's command red from Next Generation, not engineering red from Star Trek, the original series. And I was just sitting there like, bruh.
I remember you telling me about that, and it's just like,
right?
Yo.
Bruh.
Y'all need to fucking chill.
That is a literal conversation that I have had. You people give Star Trek fans a bad name.
Correct.
We are both Star Trek fans. I'm a fan of the original series. Kate is obsessed with Next Gen.
I'm not obsessed.
You're obsessed.
I just watched it the most recently. I haven't watched the original series yet, and I want them all to destroy me.
Moving on.
And that's that on that. That's really all it is.
Moving on. Moving the fuck on.
Don't you try to shame me. Not in my house.
Brent Spiner, I'm sorry, she's not single. Anyways. I'm sorry. I know my glasses are reflecting like really bad, but I have got a really bad headache right now. I need them.
That's okay.
I really do. Anyways, so they made these patches for their arms that said Heaven's Gate Away Team, and they put them on their tracksuits because that is what they wore, tracksuits.
And they were purple, right?
No, the tracksuits were black. After they died, after they were dead, they were laying on their beds and they were covered with a purple shroud.
That's what it was. Okay.
That's what it was. They all had a $5 bill and a $10 roll of quarters in their pockets for just in case. There was baggage lined up next to their beds, like suitcases and shit like that, like they were going on a trip.
In our favorite rocket ship.
Oof. Will it be too much for you if I were to show a picture of one of the bodies with the shrouds?
I don't think so. If I don't see the face, I think I'd be okay.
You don't see the face at all.
Okay, then I think I'll be okay.
Okay, so I'm going to show a picture right now. If you are sensitive to this kind of thing, I'm just giving you a heads up. This is a picture of dead bodies. However, you don't actually see anything. So it's literally just legs and sneakers. And
yeah, like this wasn't a violent death, so it's not like a gruesome image.
This isn't like Jonestown.
Yeah, but it is image of death.
Yes. So this is basically what it looked like. Yeah. So you can see the purple shrouds covering the bodies. You can see the black tracksuits and the black Nikes. And actually that bunk bed right there, the Museum of Death in Hollywood has one of those actual bunk beds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit.
And one of the outfits that was on one of the bodies.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on a mannequin now. And I was talking to them about it, and they said when they opened the box after getting it, the smell was fucking awful. And I was just like, bruh, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I was watching some news footage today of what it was like in the mansion about a week after the deaths. Now the bodies stayed there long enough for, decomposure to start. So
decomposition.
Decomposition. Thank you. I can't word today. The headache is getting worse. Decomposition had definitely started, including the how do I want to put this? Expulsion of bodily fluids. Yeah. It was a very peaceful death for those that did die. However, death is not a peaceful process. And, I took forensic science for a few years in high school. And I know that it is not a peaceful process whatsoever. So at that point, yeah, there was a lot of blood mess in the house and like urine and stuff like that. So God, I can only imagine what it fucking smelled like.
Yeah, I'm sure that was pretty rough.
It was yucky.
And what month was this again?
This was in March.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad then.
Yeah, this is March 23rd was the first day. 15 people of the group committed suicide by taking the phenobarbital with applesauce and vodka. And then, the bags. And then March 24th, 15 more committed suicide by the same means as the first group. And then March 25th, the remaining 9 committed suicide, the last 2 staying alive to dispose of everybody else's, plastic bags, to cover them with the shrouds, to just set everything up, basically. Yeah. Now, those 2 finally did commit suicide, and they didn't get the shrouds, they didn't get the bags, they didn't get any of that. So those 2 were uncovered when they were found. Yeah. But also, do you want to know how much they paid for that mansion? How much their rent was for the mansion in Rancho Santa Fe?
Tell me, I must know.
$7,000 a month. That's nothing. I know, right?
Fucking hell, man.
Who wants to move into a mansion?
And it was like 7 bedrooms, right?
Yeah. And it was 7 bedrooms. It had an orange grove. It had a pool. It had a tennis court. It was like ginormous. It had Italian marble foyer. Like, it was a fucking gorgeous mansion. I have seen the walkthrough of that place. I would send it to you, but you would not like the walkthrough.
Is it like a walkthrough like after this?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. You wouldn't like that walkthrough. Sorry. I'm not going to send that to you. No. So what happened was, before they committed suicide, they released what they called their final exits. And it was the last interview that they all gave, and they all gave it on, their exit tapes or their exit statements. They gave these interviews before they all committed suicide, just days before they committed suicide. And would you like to know what their last meal was?
Other than the applesauce and vodka?
Yeah.
I want to see if I can guess it first.
Okay, go ahead. Let's see if you remember.
Was it McDonald's?
No.
Was it Kentucky Fried Chicken?
There was chicken in it.
Chicken noodle soup?
No.
That's all I got.
It was Marie Callender's chicken pot pies.
Ah!
They went to Marie Callender's, all 39 of them, and got chicken pot pies and iced tea.
Solid?
I mean, I can't drink iced tea, but I mean, the chicken pot pie sounds pretty bomb, honestly.
Yeah. The chicken pie shop would have been better.
Yeah. I could go
but then the poor chicken pie shop would have that like looming over them, and that's like a San Diego staple.
Yeah, that's true.
They've been around for like 83 years, so like, yeah, it's better that they didn't go that way.
It's probably better, yeah. I mean, if I was them, I would just like fucking go with it and be like, Heaven's Gate, last meal here.
Yeah, but at the same time,
Yeah. Not everyone is me.
Yeah.
Liz, I know what I am. Okay, I know what I am.
Strange?
Yeah. Oh, like half the people at work don't even realize that I'm a bearded lady. It's hilarious.
Really?
Oh yeah, I told someone about it like the other day, and they were talking about my tattoo. They're like, "Why'd you get a bearded lady?" I was like, "Cause I am a bearded lady," and they were like, "What?" I was just like, "Yeah," because I wear a mask. I still wear a mask, and it's like a total wrap around mask, so like you can't see the bottom. You can't see like here down at all.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like, I don't know, maybe in like the break room or something. I don't know.
We don't have a break room.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. But yeah, I don't know. But I love telling people at work that my best friend is a bearded lady, because they always are just like, what? And then I get to show them your Instagram and they're just like, what? And they always think it's like super rad.
Why don't they ever follow me? I'm kidding. I'm joking. I hit 4,000 followers actually. Yeah, like 4,050 or something now. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, they had these patches made. Then they had to send them back because the patches were made wrong. And then they got the right patches and they sewed them onto their tracksuits because tracksuits. I mean, I guess if you're gonna die in anything, that'd be pretty comfortable, you know? You're going for comfort, not fashion at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, tracksuits are solid. Like, they aren't like dressy, but like,
I mean, you know, I just showed the picture. It's not like they looked bad.
yeah, exactly. It's like they don't, you don't need to be dressy if you're going to space.
No. I mean, I would dress up a little bit better than a tracksuit if I was going to space, but you know, that's just me. I'm going to show another picture. Kate, just a heads up. I'm showing another picture. It is of the suicide. So as you can see right here, there is a table with a mattress on it. And that's actually where that person slept. Heads up. Like they actually slept on a table with a mattress thrown on top.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? But you can see there's another person like on the ground with the mattress on the ground. Maybe they just needed some extra back support, you know? Maybe they had a bad back. Maybe they needed a little extra back support and they needed like a firmer place to like sleep on. Although, you know, the floor looks pretty, that's the Italian tile or the Italian marble floor. So I don't know. I'm just saying it's weird, but you can see right underneath the head of the person that is on the table, there is a packed suitcase.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
Yeah, that's the packed suitcase. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. It's the wrong button. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. So anyways, so yeah. They had their final meal. They went home, and over the span of 3 days they killed themselves. Now before they killed themselves, they recorded videos where they explained what they were doing and why they were doing it basically, and they sent those videos to an ex-member named Rio D'Angelo. Now Rio got the videotapes in the mail like the day after all of them finished killing themselves. And so he went on March 26th to the house, and he knew what he was walking into, but he took a video camera, went into the house, covered his mouth and his nose with his shirt, and videotaped all of the bodies before he left and called 911.
Oh, I have a super random question. I don't know if you would know.
Okay.
Do you know like which group Herf was in?
Herf was in one of the first groups, from what I remember.
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like he would be in either the first group or the last group, but
no, he was one of the first to go. He had a shroud.
Mm.
Yeah, he was either in the first or second group. I know that because, you know, he had the shroud. And yeah, so at the Museum of Death in Hollywood, which is one of my favorite places in the world, and I can't wait for them to reopen because I will legitimately drive out to Hollywood just to go. Kate, you know that.
I do know that.
Yeah. Hang on. Museum of Death. That's not what I wanted. Anyways, so they have, you know, the bunk bed with the actual person, the actual the not body, the actual outfit on top, and then the fake one on the bottom, which has like a fake shroud and everything. But they also have what is fascinating to me, a suicide note, and they found that in the pocket of the outfit that they had bought from auction. Isn't that wild? There's actually a suicide note, and I'm trying to find it because it's an interesting insight into their mind. If you don't want to actually sit through the exit tapes, which you can watch on YouTube. I have seen them. They're interesting. Anyways, if I can find the pictures of that, I will post them on the Facebook page, facebook.com/ChardonHayTC. That's ChardonHaayTC. It's an interesting insight, but that's not where the story ends. The suicide is not where the story ends. Now, obviously, Rio D'Angelo called the police and reported the suicide. The police came, EMTs came, but it was far too late at that point. Everyone was dead. However, not everyone was dead, because there were members who still believed in what Bonnie Lou Nettles and Marshall Herf Applewhite were saying. There were members who, days later, met up in a hotel room and tried to kill themselves. It didn't go as planned. One of the members was an autistic 24-year-old man. Yeah. Who fell into this whole thing because he felt like he was an alien and he didn't understand the people around him and he didn't understand social interactions and all that kind of stuff. And listen, I get it. I do. But that doesn't mean that you join the first cult that you find and take this way out. Yeah.
That would be a good time to invest in therapy.
Yeah. Yeah, he was found alive still. They put him into a hospital. He spent a couple weeks in the hospital. He came out of the hospital and he managed to actually kill himself. This time, unfortunately, he shot himself in the head. So we can't really fail at that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other member that tried to kill themselves with the phenobarbital, he managed to do it. There was another member who days later managed to kill himself. Yeah. It's very unfortunate, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when news broke of the suicides and their relation to the Hale-Bopp comet, the co-discoverer of the comet, Alan Hale, was unfortunately drawn into the story. His phone didn't stop ringing all day, and he didn't respond until the next day when he spoke on the subject at a press conference, but only after researching the details of the incident, to which I gotta say, good for Alan Hale.
Yeah, smart move there.
Yeah, exactly. He did what was right, in my opinion. He he spoke at the Second World Skeptics Congress in Heidelberg, Germany on January 24th, 1998, and discussed the scientific significance and popular lore of comets and gave a personal account of his discovery. He then lambasted the combination of scientific illiteracy, willful delusions, a radio talk show's depiction of an imaginary spacecraft following the comet, and a cult's bizarre yearnings for ascending to another level of existence that led to the Heaven's Gate mass suicide. And he said, well before Heaven's Gate, he told a colleague, we're probably going to have some suicides as a result of this comet. And the sad part was that I was not really surprised. Comets are lovely objects, but they don't have an apocalyptic significance. We must use our minds and our reason. Yeah. I got to agree with him on that one.
Damn.
Yeah. Now, there was actually a copycat suicide of a 58-year-old man living near Marysville, California. He left a note dated March 27th, which said, I'm going on that spaceship with the Hale-Bopp to be with those who have gone before me, and imitated some of the details of the Heaven's Gate suicides as they had been reported in the media up to that point. He was found dead by a friend on March 31st and had no connection with Heaven's Gate. He wasn't even an ex-member or anything. He was just like, hey, those guys have the right idea. I'm going to hop on that spaceship with them.
Just, boy, I sure hope they're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. On May 6th, which is when two of them attempted suicide in a hotel that was similar to, in a manner that was similar to the group, Wayne Cook and Chuck Humphrey. Wayne Cook died and Chuck Humphrey survived. And then another former member, James Perkney, died by suicide of a self-inflicted gunshot on May 11th. And like I said, Humphrey, who had survived his first attempt, ultimately killed himself in Arizona on February 1998. Now, oh, that's interesting. Sorry, I just realized who is still running the Tella Foundation. It's Mark and Sarah King of Phoenix, Arizona, which I knew they were in Phoenix. I just didn't realize it was the Kings.
Interesting. Oh,
yeah. You good?
Yeah, I just got my back to crack a little bit.
Oh, lucky.
Like just a tiny little bit, but it was necessary.
Mm-hmm. I'm super jealous. My back is killing me. Oh my God. But anyways, there was, unfortunately, listen, Kate and I are both pretty big fans of SNL. Kate, you would agree, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in the aftermath of Heaven's Gate, Saturday Night Live aired a sketch where the cult members made it to space, and it was followed by a commercial parody for Keds, featuring the tagline, worn by level-headed Christians, as well as footage of, unfortunately, the corpses of the Heaven's Gate members. I'm honestly surprised that I am both surprised and not surprised that actually got through. I'm a little bit surprised at oh my God, what's his name? Who is the boss? What is his name?
Lorne,
thank you. The guy that I can't stop having weird sex dreams about. Unfortunately,
stop trying to fuck Lorne Michaels.
Unfortunately, that is true. I don't know why it happens, but I keep having weird sex dreams about Lorne Michaels, and it is a problem.
Stop trying to fuck Lorne Michaels.
I'm not trying. It is my subconscious. I don't want to fuck Lorne Michaels, but my brain, for some reason, has decided that I do.
Our brains are truly terrible places to live.
I hate it there. I hate it there.
I would like to move out.
I take these.
Mine are over there.
Yeah, no, mine sit right next to, like, right on top of my computer tower. Yeah. That's where they live, because then I will remember to take them. But yeah,
mine are on my bedside table, so I always remember to take them right before I go to bed.
That's a good plan. No, seriously. I do not want to fuck Lorne Michaels. I cannot believe I have to say that publicly. For the record, I don't want to fuck Lorne Michaels. My brain just keeps making me think that I do while I'm sleeping, and it's horrible. It is a horrible place. Don't get me wrong. I think that Lorne Michaels is a fucking genius, and I think that he is fantastic for keeping SNL on as long as he has, and also for creating SNL in the first place, and he is a very articulate man. However, I don't want to fuck him. You shut up. I know I have daddy issues, but they don't go that far, okay? First of all, fuck you.
I said nothing.
Fuck you. Second of all, I'd rather work for him than fuck him.
Yeah, your daddy issues manifest a little bit more with Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, God. I hate that I smiled as soon as you said his name. I have his face tattooed to my body. Yeah, I want to fuck him.
Oh my God.
What?
I just had a really weird thought.
What?
Like, it's one of those things, like, it is unlikely, like, the odds of it happening are very low, but if you ever did get to hook up with Dan Aykroyd, he would have to deal with the fact that his face is tattooed on your body.
Yeah. You know he's been married since, like, the 90s.
Yes, I know. That's why I
Okay.
said, like, the odds of it are low. I don't want to say they're impossible because I still want to have that little bit of hope for you
Thank
because I
you.
support you and your dreams.
Thank you.
But we also got to be realistic here sometimes.
I am aware that there is a very less than likely chance of me fucking Dan Aykroyd. I am very aware of that. Thank you very much for reminding me.
Low, not impossible.
I know. I know. And after living in Hollywood and knowing the people that I know, trust me, I know it's low, but not impossible. However, and knowing the things that I know, however, I'll tell you later. His face is on my thigh. I think he'd be okay with that. I don't know. It's not like he has to like look at my thigh while we're fucking. I don't know.
Yeah, but what if he goes down on you?
So then it would be like on the side of his head. It's not like it
Yeah,
would be
so
like
his
right
face
there.
would be next to. So his face would be next to his face.
Yeah, but I'd be looking at his face on my leg while he was like going down. Okay, we're having a weird conversation. We're supposed to be talking about a mass suicide right now. Okay, Kate got us off topic on this one.
Yeah, that one's my fault.
That one's your fault. Anyway,
I accept full responsibility for that one.
thank you very much for accepting the responsibility that you are owed because that was your fucking fault. You are the one that took me into that place. Wow. Wow.
Oh man.
That's all I really got to say about that is just fucking wow.
Yeah. We're fine, y'all. We're all good here.
We're fine. We're fine. Anyways, so yeah, SNL took it to a bad place. Yeah. SNL listen, okay, I think that if they had waited the proper amount of time and they had done it tastefully, it could have been funny.
Yeah. They didn't do that though. They did it wrong.
They did it wrong. They did do it wrong. And occasionally SNL does that. I mean, look at like the samurai sketches with John Belushi. Those are pretty fucked up.
Didn't he like hit somebody in the head with his samurai sword one time?
Yeah, I think so. You watched the Belushi documentary. I didn't.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. I think that SNL could have done better, in my opinion. There's a few occasions where they definitely could have done better on some of the things that they've done, and that is one of those occasions. Now, the Heaven's Gate group, the Heaven's Gate suicides have been referenced in various TV shows, including Family Guy, CSI, Cowboy Bebop, one of my favorite shows, Absolutely Fabulous, and on actually Key and Peele. Yeah.
Oh.
And to answer your musings from, I don't know, was it last episode or the episode before? Yes, they were who they were referencing in Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh yeah. That's right. I had that moment where I made that connection. I forgot about that.
Yeah. They were also referenced in Deadpool, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. What were they?
It was very, very brief. It was just it wasn't really it was just a Patrick Stewart joke.
Oh.
Yeah, like when I want to go up to when I decide I want to join some old, bald, Heaven's Gate looking motherfucker.
That's it. That's the bitch. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give your shiny happy ass a phone call.
Mm-hmm. Now, Colossus, there's one guy I would fuck. He would treat us right.
He would.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah. There have been multiple books about Heaven's Gate. There have been music about Heaven's Gate. The English progressive rock band Porcupine Tree released a song called Last Chance to Evacuate the Planet Before It's Recycled, where they actually sample. Yeah, I know, right? Fucking by Fallout Boy. Is that it actually samples Herf talking.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. The music video for the band Pendulum's single Propane Nightmares features a cult that resembles Heaven's Gate. In 2012, Captain Murphy's video Duality featured samples and video footage of the Heaven's Gate initiation recordings. The song 1997 by Saint Motel on their album Voyeur is based off of the Heaven's Gate group Do, Ray, and Me by the band AJJ, and included on their album Christmas Island, heavily featured Heaven's Gate. Techno musician Joel Dunn performed music under the stage name Marshall Applewhite. Bad taste, bro. Bad taste.
Homie.
Yeah, bad taste.
My dude.
Hashtag don't agree. It goes on. Exodus Cult in Metalocalypse, which is one of my favorite shows, is a parody of Heaven's Gate, and the Niles Comet is a parody of the Hale-Bopp Comet. And in it, the song that they release in the episode, it sings about the cult suicide, which, you know, honestly, that's a fucking good song. The song is called Comet Song. It's a good song. I like Metalocalypse, though, and I like metal, so that's me. You know, and you can definitely hear more about me loving metal in our episode about Euronymous and I need to redo that episode one of these days because that's just too much fun. I'm Euronymous. Look at me. I am in charge of all of the metal in Norway.
You see that aluminum?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in charge of it.
Euronymous, I don't think that's what it means by saying that you're in charge of metal.
Shut the fuck up and give me your steel.
You know what? Fuck you. I'm going to kill you, Euronymous.
Not if I kill you first with your steel.
Yeah, well, I've already killed you. What are you going to do now?
Shit.
I sound like Nandor the Relentless. This is bad. Anyways, the metal band Testament released their song Children of the Next Level on their album Titans of Creation, which is about the cult. It includes reference to the Hale-Bopp Comet, the mass suicide, and themes of escaping a broken world for a higher outer plane, which, you know, at the end of everything, I have to admit, I understand why the cult did what they did.
Yeah, definitely.
I understand the longing to get away from this world. I understand the longing to escape a world that is so heavily influenced by capitalism and greed and what? I see your face. What?
That just reminded me of a clip that Junior showed me. Actually, I may have seen it on Tumblr first, but it's Tim Curry. It's a clip from a video game, and he's like, "I'm going to escape to the one place that has not been ruined by capitalism. Space."
No, Jeff Bezos was almost in space. It's been ruined by capitalism.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't at the time.
It wasn't at the time, but Jeff Bezos has almost been to space. He went to like what, the edge of our atmosphere or something?
I didn't even know that actually happened. I don't feel like it's worth acknowledging, so I'm not going to comment on it. So I'm not even going to look into it.
Either way, space has been ruined by Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos just ruins everything.
Maybe we could send him down into the ocean and like a pressurized little tube and then forget him there.
I wouldn't
How about
notice
that?
anything.
How about that? I don't think we would miss him. Anyways, I told people at work that I was a communist, and they were like not surprised at all. It was really funny. I told one of the girls, she was like talking, and I like bitched about capitalism for a minute, and I was just like, "Fucking like, this is why I'm a communist." And she looked at me, and she was just like, "I could see that." I was just like, "Yep." And she was just like, I don't know why I'm not even surprised at all. I don't even know that much about communism, but like, I know that you are definitely a communist. And I was just like, yup.
Yeah, the shop that Chloe and I went to today, they're very small and like locally owned, and we were all just like shooting the shit with all of them. And the lady who I think like runs the shop, like communism and socialism came up, and she was just like, yeah, we're all just a bunch of like queer socialists here. Like, I don't know why that's a surprise.
I'm not surprised. If you own your own business and you're a small business, you're most likely a socialist or a communist. Yeah. And I support
especially this type of shop.
Kate went to a sex shop today.
Yeah. And it's not, yeah, well, we don't need to go into it, but it was a great time.
Yeah. I don't know why you're embarrassed about it. It's healthy.
No. I'm not embarrassed about it. I just don't want to go on to like a big long tangent about it. That's not what we're here to talk about. So I'm just trying not to derail the conversation.
Kate, what are your final thoughts on Heaven's Gate? Because this series is over now. The series is over. What are your final thoughts?
It's one of those things where it really is unfortunate that like this is the direction that they felt they had to go. Mm-hmm. Like this is the final conclusion that they ended up reaching for how to get where they were trying to go. Mm-hmm. But we have no way of knowing if that actually like got them what they wanted. You know, I think if you are going to go out, the fact that they were all willing and like this was like as peaceful as you could really go about this. Mm-hmm. I don't really think you can hope for anything better for such a circumstance.
Agreed. I will agree with you on that. I also feel that it is important to, remind everyone that this is not a situation like Jonestown. Mm-mm. This is not a situation where they were forced to do this. They chose what they wanted to do. Nichelle Nichols' brother was one of the victims. I don't want to say victims. I apologize for saying that word. I don't consider them victims. I don't.
He was one of the final members.
He was one of the final class. I don't know. Were they graduates? Was this them graduating?
Team? He was part of the away team.
The away team. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, it was... you know what? I feel like the best thing for me to do is to name the members who did die, because we've talked so much about Herf and Bonnie Lou, but we haven't talked enough, in my opinion, about the actual specific members of the group. So I am going to name them because I think that is important too, because they were as much a part of this group as Herf and Bonnie Lou.
They, like without these people, Herf and Bonnie Lou don't matter.
Yeah, exactly. So there was Cheryl Butcher. She was 42. She was a shy, bright, self-taught computer expert who spent half of her life with the group. There was David Van Seerden, who was 48, an environmentalist. There was Alan Bowers, who was 45, and he had worked as an oysterman. He worked as a commercial oysterman. He spent 8 years with the group in the 70s before he rejoined in 1994. There was Margaret Bull, who grew up on a farm. Alfonso Forster, who was a bus driver. David Moore, who was another computer expert. Julie Lamongante. Lamongante?
How's it spelled?
Lamontagne.
Lamontag?
Lamontag? I don't know. I'm sending you this list
Or
right
Lamontagne?
Lamontagne, maybe? I'm sending you the list right now.
Let's see.
But I think that Julie was the one, because she was a nurse, so I think that she was the one who helped with the whole spaying and neutering. Listen, I can respect these people for their choices and also make jokes.
Yep, I don't want the picture. I want the list.
Yeah. Scroll down a little bit. You'll find the list.
Ooh, my AC just kicked on and it's hitting me like right in the face right now.
Hell yeah. My AC is on the other side of the room, but I can tell that it's on because I have dried flowers from my grandma's funeral hanging in my window, which is right under my AC, and they're moving.
Okay, list.
I would show you, but today is the one day that I haven't made my bed, and I'm not going to show you. I always make my bed, but today I was just like, I'm off. I don't need to make my bed today. But I'm telling you, after we finish this, I'm probably going to go make my bed before I get into it. Listen, I'm a disaster. We know this, okay?
And you know what? That's just how it be sometimes.
That's how it be. So anyway, have you found it?
No, it's not loading.
So I'm sorry.
Let me try it. Let me try it on my actual computer instead of my phone.
Okay. Sounds good. You let me know. I'm going to keep reading down the list. Alphonse, Julie. All right. Darwin Lee Johnson, who was a musician and was a firm believer in UFO and space aliens. He briefly joined Heaven's Gate in the 70s, then left because they were allowed to do that. That's another thing about this group. They were allowed to leave. And that's something that really frustrates me about people who lump this group in with the rest of the cults. You know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go.
People Magazine does it too. People Magazine does it too because they lump this group in with other cults. Meanwhile, do you think Jim Jones would have been okay with people leaving his group? No. Absolutely. He fucking slaughtered 500 people for trying to leave his group. So
okay, yeah. Final answer. I do think that is Lamontagne.
Lamontagne?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Anyway. So yeah, Darwin Lee Johnson left in the 70s. He became a guitar player and a lyricist for the band Dharma Combat. Then in 1994, he saw an ad for a Heaven's Gate seminar. And then 2 days later, he was gone. And he joined the group again. There was Robert Arancio. He was 45 years old and an artist. There was Gary Jordan St. Louis. God, that's a fucking awesome name. Gary Jordan St. Louis. Fuck, that is a good name. We need to step up our name game.
Truly.
Right? Like, shit. That is a fucking awesome name. He was another computer programmer. He liked, even as a child, he would ask the tough questions like, what am I doing here? Are there spaceships? And why does mom drink? That would be my child. Let's be honest, that's my child.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but I'm not having children, so it's fine. I don't need to answer those questions. Listen, I can answer the questions. What am I doing here? And are there spaceships? But why does mom drink? Because mommy likes alcohol, Billy. Or
In my case, it's
Gary.
Jimmy Carr for the money.
What?
Never mind. I was making a different reference.
No, do it. Go ahead. What did you say?
I just said, in my case, it's Jimmy Carr for the money.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's a good one. If you don't watch Big Fat Quiz of the Year, do it.
You should.
Fabulous.
You definitely should.
So good. It's so good. Anyway, LaDonna Bergato, who was 40 and a computer consultant. Joel Peter McCormick, who was 28 and a Trekkie. He's one of the ones that was, brought in after their, hey, you fucking nerd, you want to go to space? Join us.
He was
on
just like,
Star Trek message boards.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like if I was just like, hey, are you a fucking nerd?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, guess what? We're going to go to space. You want to come with us, you fucking nerd?
Yes.
All right, get in the car. Let's go, bitch.
Getting in, loser. We're going to space.
Get in, loser. We're going Colton. Oh my God, I have a burn on my hand and it itches so bad. What?
Don't scratch it.
I'm not going to. It's just really bad. I got to put aloe on it. There was Gail Mader, who was a boutique owner. She was 27. Her parents claimed that she would find her. They hoped that she would find her way back. We'd hoped she'd marry and settle down and give us some grandchildren, says her father, Robert, who was a design engineer for a manufacturing company. But Gail did not do that. And her mother liked to say, her mother, Alice, who was a homemaker, liked to say, I hate to say she was a hippie. She was more of a bohemian. Same fucking thing, bitch.
Yeah, bohemian's a little more racist.
Yeah. At least she didn't call her a gypsy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Anyway, now she actually called her family in 94 and her father offered to send her a plane ticket, and her family had actually, this is an interesting story, her family had actually been in contact with a cult expert, someone who was used to getting people out of cults, and he told them how to talk to her. However, grandma didn't listen, and they didn't try to be like, oh, when are you coming home? Come home. Like, that's what the cult expert said. He said, do not try to do that. But grandma was like, when are you coming home, Gail? And she was just like, I don't know, probably never. And the grandma was like, don't say that. You gotta come home right now. And then 3 years later, Gail was dead. So,
Nice job, grandma.
Way to follow the guy,
Fucking grandma.
There was Thomas Nichols, who was 58 years old, and the sister, Nichelle, who was the brother of Nichelle Nichols, who played, as we have made lots of references to, Lieutenant Uhura in Star Trek, the original series. Yeah, and on Larry King Live, she said that until their mother had died in 1992, they hadn't heard from their brother in 20 years. So since the 70s, he joined the group early on. But it is nice to know that the group was totally okay with everybody of any race, gender, and sexual orientation.
Yeah, this was just for whoever wanted to be there.
Exactly. There was John Craig, who was 62 and a developer. There was Margaret Richter. I would say Richter. Richter.
I think that's Richter.
Richter? She was 46 and another computer whiz. There was Susan Elizabeth Nora Paup, who was 53 and an editor for a computer company. There was Michael Barr Sandow?
Yeah.
Sandow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was 25 and an ex-paratrooper. Now, keep in mind, 1997 is when they died. This is so soon after Desert Storm, you know? Desert
What?
Storm was in 1991.
I don't know what that is.
Desert Storm was oh my God, history lesson for Kate, real quick.
I don't know these things.
Yeah, so Desert Storm was the Gulf War.
Oh,
You know what that is?
I know of it.
So the Gulf War was a war waged from 35 nations led by the United States against Iraq in response to Iraq's invasion of Kuwait because of the rising oil prices. And it is where Saddam Hussein and oh my God, what's his face? Who's the other terrorist? The one that we threw in the ocean? Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the bitch.
It was right there. It was almost.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. Anyways, that's where those two basically gained power, and they gained like military funding and everything to do the things that they did, and then ended up becoming terrorists against the United States. However, how the United States thought that that could go any other way is beyond me. Anyways, that is a story for a different time.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so Michael Bar Sandow was a infantry paratrooper in Desert Storm in 91. He was the popular senior class president. He was a famous guy, and then he joined the cult. Yeah. There was Norma Jean Nelson, who was 59. She was an artist, and whenever I hear the name Norma Jean, I just think about goodbye, Norma Jean. It's an Elton John song.
Oh, I don't know that one.
It's about Marilyn Monroe, because Marilyn Monroe's real name was Norma Jean.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, there was Suzanne Cook, who surprisingly spells her name the same way that I do.
I mean, it's not that uncommon of a last name.
I'm glad to know that, because I'm the only Cook I know who spells their name that way.
Huh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways, she was 54 and a drifter. She met her about 20 years before, so in the 70s. There was Jacqueline Leonard, who was a medical assistant. There was Susan Storm, who was an outdoors woman. There was Judith Rowland, a homemaker. Yvonne McCurdy Hill, who was a postal service employee. Denise Thurman, who was, for lack of a better word, a seeker. She was looking for answers. She was one of those people that was like, I want to find the answers to why we are here, etc. You know?
Such an age range with all of these people.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, for these people who are in their 40s and stuff, these are people who joined when they were in their 20s.
Mm-hmm. But then, like, there's people who are in their 70s, and there's people who are in their 20s.
Yeah. That's the thing about this cult. I mean, and I do have to say, I respect this cult because they did not allow children into the group. I do have to say that, because there were a lot of children that died at Jonestown. And I know that it's not fair of me to compare Jonestown and Heaven's Gate. I know that, but it's hard not to. There were a lot of children that died at Jonestown. There were a lot of children that died at Waco. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about Waco in the last episode and how much that had an effect on Jonestown itself. Or not on Jonestown, on Heaven's Gate. I'm sorry. That was
I knew what you meant, but yeah.
I know.
Important clarification.
Important clarification, because I don't want to be that person, you know?
No.
Because cults are interesting to me. One of the cults that I think is the most interesting, honestly, is the Manson family, but that's because a lot of them are, still alive.
That's so wild to think about.
I know, right? Charles Manson only died 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Mhm. I know a guy who knows a guy who has a handful of Charles Manson's ashes. I have been trying to get him to give me some of those ashes for 3 years.
Oh my God.
I know, right? Can you imagine if I fucking had Charles Manson's ashes?
No, I can't.
They'd go right here.
Yeah.
Right there. With my whole little Charlie section. My stepdad tried to get me to sell my Charles Manson album recently, and I told him to fuck off.
Just
No.
no.
No. I need to get that next time I'm in California. I need that. I'm gonna text him later and be like, "Hey, you know that that album that I have that's like Charles Manson? Yeah, I want that, please. Thanks. Bye." Anyways, there was this is an interesting name, Lindley. How would you pronounce that second name?
Earhart.
Pease, who was a car salesman who this is a man, by the way. His name was Lindsay because apparently, or Lindley, because that is a male name. He was 41. There was Jeffrey Howard Lewis, who was also 41, who was a masseur. There was Erica Ernst, who was 40, who was the cult accountant. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Go ahead. Her sister Heidi would later say she wanted to see the world. I wish that they had done that on their own. She would still be here. I don't know. They saw Vegas and San Diego and were like, bye.
And obviously, those are like the two most interesting parts of the world.
Listen. I tried to kill myself when I was fucking 20. Okay. I was 20 years old. At that point, I had seen Mexico, I had seen Italy, and I had seen England. 3 countries that people fucking dream of seeing. Italy in particular. But people fucking dream of going to those countries. And I still tried to kill myself. So don't fucking tell me that if you could just see the world, you wouldn't want to kill yourself. I am living proof that even if you have seen the world, there can still be points where you want to kill yourself.
It's almost like traveling doesn't solve your problems that are more deeply rooted inside of you.
What a wild concept. Right? Yeah.
I was actually just having a conversation with a customer yesterday about how much we both want to go to Italy.
Oh, God, I love Italy. You and I should go to Italy together.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I'll take you to some of my favorite places in Italy, like the Museum of Medieval Torture Devices.
And I will cry the whole time.
Yep. Oh, that place is haunted AF. When I went there, I was the only person in the museum. I've told you this story before, but I'm going to tell the listeners right now. So I was the only person in the museum, and I'm wandering around this museum, and it's the only place I can be alone from my fucking art teacher, who will not leave me alone because I was the only person in our group from our school who did not bring a parent. So she was just like, "Oh, you're my responsibility." And I was like, I was always your responsibility, but just because my mommy's not here doesn't mean you need to pay special attention to me." Meanwhile, she paid special attention to me. I mean, it was also partially because I was her favorite, but
that's also leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly. I hid from her at the Vatican. It was like a whole thing. It was really I've told you that story before too. But anyways, so we're in this little town, a little ways away from Rome called San Gimignano. And I'm looking around at like shit there is to do. We've got like 2 hours of free time. So I'm like, what do I want to do here? And I see this place called the Museum of Medieval Torture Devices. And I was like, I want to go there. There is not a more on-brand place for me to go in this whole entire village than this place, right?
Quite literally.
Yeah. Anyway, so I tell my teacher I want to go there. My teacher's like, no. And I'm like, but it's my money. And she was just like, ugh, okay, fine, you can go. My goal when going to Italy, I learned Italian before I went, which is something that my teacher, who had been to Italy several times, had never bothered to learn.
I tried to learn Italian on Duolingo, and then I just like fell out of the habit, and the owl tried to kill me.
That owl is scary. But no, I went to like a class at like a college, like it was the community college, but still I went to a class every Saturday. And I learned enough Italian. My goal when going to Italy was to ask for directions in Italian and get them back in Italian and understand them. So we're in this little town called San Gimignano. I go into an art gallery and ask, and I have the pamphlet with me for the place, and I ask the person in there for directions in Italian, and she gives them to me, and I get directions to this place. So I go there, I'm going through the museum, and there's part of the museum where you have to go into the basement. And so I start walking down the steps, and I hear this like clattering noise, and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? So I stopped, and then like a rock lands at my feet, and I was just like, nope, never mind. I like walked back up the stairs, and then
all right, and we're done down here.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where they had the what's the thing where they like lay you down and they stretch you out? What's that thing called?
The rack?
Yeah, that's where they had the rack. Did not get I kind of like peeked under like in the cellar towards it, but I didn't go in there because I was like, something doesn't want me down here. So then I go back to the front after I'm done, and I was like, hey, how many people are in here right now? And she was just like, you're the only person that's been here all day. And I was just like, cool. And she was just like, why? I was like, oh, someone threw a rock at me in the basement. And she was just like, oh, that happens. Yeah, there's a ghost. Yeah, apparently it's just like a thing that happened in that place in San Gimignano. And then I left and went and got fresh gelato.
These things do happen.
Every day I was in Italy, I got gelato. Every single fucking day. I'm not even sorry. Most of the money that I spent was either on shit from the gypsies. I say as someone who was actually buying stuff from people who called themselves gypsies.
Okay.
They called themselves gypsies, so I will call them gypsies. I am not using it as a slur. And I bought shit from them, and then gelato.
Solid.
And wine that one night that I drank an entire bottle of wine in the bathtub.
That sounds very Italian.
It also sounds very on brand for me. Let's be honest.
Yeah, 6 of 1.
You know what? You're right. Fuck.
All right. Come on. We've got off track. I think there's only like 2 people left.
Yeah, there's only 2 more people. So there was Lucy Ava Fascio. Fascio. What?
That's a P.
Well, yeah, Fascio. I don't know. They could pronounce it a different way. And there was who was again computer trainer. And there was Joyce Scala, who was a TV personality. Yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah. She was okay, so about Joyce, she was raised in Minnesota. She married a Navy officer and once won a base beauty contest. Not even joking. She lived in Denver, where she gave birth to twin daughters, and then they settled in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where she earned a journalism degree in 1975 and was working on air for a local TV station when suddenly she took off 2 days later after one of their seminars. And a family friend described her as always a real 50s type wife. Then she did a complete change. And of course, we've got one more person to talk about. Marshall Herff Applewhite, who at this point was 65 years old. We've talked this entire series about Marshall and about, about Bonnie and everything. But I think that, I think it's important to remember the people who did die.
Mm-hmm. And like I said before, you know, without all these people, Bonnie and Herf don't matter. They're just
Exactly.
a couple. They're just a couple people.
And personally, I think that that's something to remember when it comes to any person. These people don't actually matter unless you give them the power to matter.
Yeah, nobody matters unless we let them.
Which is what I was trying to explain in our episode where we talked about gurus. We give these people the power. We give these people the ability to do what they do. I know that it sounds callous, but people don't matter until we let them matter.
It's like people overall, like as a general unit, people matter, but like nobody is like noteworthy or significant until other people decide that they are.
For example, Kate is one of the most important people in my life, but
I'm a nobody. Nobody fucking knows who I am.
Exactly.
And also, like, on kind of like the flip side, everybody knows who the Kardashians are. Fucking why?
Why? Because they have that stupid reality show, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But why do they have the reality show? Because the dad Kardashian represented OJ.
Yeah, so it's like that one person led to the family having notoriety.
Robert Kardashian.
That's right. So like he is the reason that they have any notoriety to begin with.
Yes.
And they are just milking that, and the whole universe, not the universe doesn't give a shit, but like the whole world has just decided that all of their bullshit is worth paying attention to.
I mean, like, listen, they are big because of reality TV. I've been on reality TV more than once.
And I was there with you one time.
Yeah. But I've done it more than once. And let me tell you, whatever. Who the fuck cares who I am? I'm the crazy bitch Okay, well, thank you. I'm the crazy bitch that talks to you about true crime shit and aliens and conspiracy theories and shit. You know, I don't in the long run of things, I don't matter. And in the long run of things, neither do you. I'm sorry, Kate, but it's true. You matter to me. You matter to me very much, but to the universe as a whole, do any of us really actually matter?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I feel like what the Wizard of Oz said to the Tin Man isn't entirely out of place for this situation. Like, you know,
go ahead.
You know, like a heart isn't measured by how much you love, but by how much you are loved by others. Does anybody actually love the Kardashians, or do we just pay attention to them? Like, I don't think anybody really likes the Kardashians. We're just oversaturated by them. And quite frankly, I don't really care about notoriety. I care much more about like surrounding myself with people who I love and make me feel loved. That is.
If I were to have a reality show like the Kardashians, would you watch it?
If you were doing something interesting. If I thought you were if I thought your show was a bunch of bullshit, I would tell you straight to your face.
No, yeah, no, I know. I mean, honestly, that's why I got in trouble with MTV as much as I did, because I told them it was bullshit.
I'm still mad at them, honestly.
So am I. Why are you mad at them?
They practically harassed me like, hey, did you get your time off? Hey, did you get your time off? We think you're going to be really important to telling her story. And I did nothing.
You and I passed out stickers on Fairfax Boulevard in Hollywood.
Yeah, there was absolutely
that is literally all that we did on that episode. Oh yeah. God.
And like we went to a bar and I was there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And I flirted with Daniel, who was a friend of mine.
Yeah, like
God, that was so fucking stupid.
Just so much badgering, and like I made sure I was there, and I just kind of fell by the wayside. You made sure that you reassured me like that you were glad I was a part of it, and that made me feel a lot better.
I was glad because you're my best friend, and of course I want you to be a part of it, you know. But like one of my other best friends was a producer on it, you know.
Oh yeah,
Lenora.
Mm-hmm.
I love her.
I know you do.
I was just talking about her today. But anyways, yeah, listen, as someone who has fucking lived this shit, you are only as important as other people make you to be. You know? I go to the grocery store, no one gives a fuck about me. I walk down Hollywood Boulevard, people are like, oh my God, you were on MTV. Oh my God, can I get a picture with you? And I'm like, yeah, sure. You know, I'm like just trying to walk to fucking work, but sure, I'll take a picture with you. What?
And then every once in a while you get, oh my God, you're from Freak Show.
Fucking kill me. Yeah, well, that's one person whose reputation I don't mind damaging. I just tell people the truth about her and they fucking they're like, oh, fuck that bitch. I'm like, yeah, fuck that bitch.
I still have nightmares about her touching my face.
Mood. Anyways.
We've gotten kind of off track here again.
People are only as important as you let them be. Gurus are not the answer to everything. And when you are a part of a group, be it a church, a cult, all right, same 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. If you are a part of a group that suddenly is saying, we should kill ourselves, maybe take a step back. That isn't to say that we have any disrespect towards Heaven's Gate as a group. These people made their choice. I personally have nothing but respect towards these people. I wish them
respect and sympathy.
Exactly. And I hope that they found exactly what they were looking for in the next level. Because as a person who doesn't really know what to believe, I do believe that there is a next level of consciousness from human. Do I think that it's on the back of a spaceship behind the Hale-Bopp comet? No, but at the same time, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So I hope that these people were able to find what they were looking for. And in the meantime, I'm going to keep on searching for what I want to believe in. Kate's going to keep on searching for what she wants to believe in. Kate, final thoughts.
I'm kind of I'm really in the same boat. Like, I don't know what to believe, so I try to work with what I feel affects right now.
Agreed.
So I try not to focus on what is after this because the uncertainty scares me. And it really is that simple. It's scary to think about because what if there's nothing?
Personally, I'm more on the boat of I think that there's a choice after but that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I am here to talk about is Heaven's Gate, and I hope that they found what they were looking for. I am sorry that it took suicide to be what they were looking for. I am sorry that they felt that was the only way to go and to ascend to their next level of consciousness or belief or whatever they thought. But at the end of the day, do I believe in what Bonnie and Herf had to say? No, I don't believe that. However, I hope that they found what they were looking for, and I hope that they have all found peace.
Yeah, I do hope that they did truly, fully believe it enough in their being, like to their core.
Yeah.
That they did not go into this with any doubt.
Agreed. And on that note, I would like to say goodnight, Kate.
Good night, Kate.
Good night, and I will see you next week. Good night, everyone.
Bye.